What's up, everybody? Welcome to Big Things Kentucky. Coach Bew, what's going on?
What's going on? Had no fear, Big Things Kentucky. Sure, I'm Coach Bew, my man, Coach TB, the cameraman on Simon. Coach Truck, what's good, sir?
Man, you know, as we get ready to go into week 7 and get into these district games, we almost at a midway point. So what we decided to do was bring on our man Jared, the Professor Peck, and just kind of have a mid-season review.
All right, man. Jared gives a lot of insight on who he likes as a favorite and what he's seen so far.
And he gonna pick some games too.
Absolutely.
As we get ready to go into the district games, we kind of got out of our non-district play, and a lot of district games will start this week, and definitely next week we'll have all the districts. We brought on our man, the Professor, Mr. Peck, to kind of bring us up to par and see how things have been going on so far up to this point in the season.
I got to ask first off, 1A, I know this is our districts, but how impressed are you with Sayre, and what do you feel like their chances are? I got to go right into it.
Well, I think their chances are pretty good. I think that they could, they're undefeated. So is Paris, for that matter. In 1A, it's, Pikeville and Raceland are kind of the next level, and you got to raise up your game to meet where they're at. Campbellsville is also undefeated. Kentucky Country Day. I mean, it's not easy in 1A. But Sayre's beaten an impressive list of teams. They've beaten some 2A teams. They're going to have a test with Eminence when they come in, I think, in a couple of weeks. But I'm very impressed with them. They're out of the district where they were with Pikeville and Hazard, which was brutal. A brutal district to be in. So they've got their own district where I think they're going to be competitive, and they have a legitimate shot of winning that district. And as does, I think Paris is there as well, but I think Paris has to deal with Raceland.
Yeah.
So we're going to find out a lot about them. But Paris has been very impressive this year, beating Rockcastle County at home a couple weeks ago. That was something.
Now, they're kind of keeping on that theme. As we started the season, there was a lot of high expectations for a lot of teams. Who do you think has, I don't want to say excelled or met those expectations, but who are the surprise teams as far as this season so far?
And I got to say, probably on both sides. Who are you surprised with how well they've been and how bad they've been, I guess, in a way, underachieved?
Well, Franklin County, what they did against Bryan Station a couple weeks ago in Boyle County, that was stunning, and they've continued to roll and just gotten better. So their emergences of, I wouldn't, they've been around for a while and been good for a while, but beating Bryan Station was a hello game. How you doing? Because they controlled the tempo. They ran out the last 10 minutes of the clock on Bryan Station. Bryan Station can play a little defense, but they had trouble with them that game. And then, it was disappointing to see Bryan Station get off to the start that it did. Yeah. But I think that maybe Coach Hawkins just doesn't have those first 2 games figured out, or what's going on there.
Yeah.
And I think there was some other stuff off the field going on with them. But they've straightened it out. I think they're going to be primed and ready for that, game in a couple of weeks against Douglas. And you talk about atmospheres at high school games in Lexington. The Douglas-Bryan Station atmosphere has been unparalleled the last. Even though Bryan Station hasn't met up to the challenge of that game. No, they played them well 2 years ago. Last year a game was a little too big for them. But this year, I think it should be a good contest. I mean, Douglas has taken a few lumps. I still think Douglas is pretty much Douglas, even though they've taken those 3 losses. Yeah. They're, Trinity beat
Bryan Station.
Trinity beat St. X last week. Bad. And Frederick Douglass went to Trinity's place and beat Trinity. Yeah. And nobody looked good doing it, but it was, one of those teams came out on top. So Douglas is, I think, still Douglas. And I think what's surprising to me is people are going to sleep on Douglas and think that they're not who they are. They are who they are.
But we knew them 2 out-of-town games were going to be tough.
Yeah.
Even though they had a chance against the team Friday in Cathedral.
Yeah, they had a good chance.
And you're not
going to
go down
by them.
And you're not going to go down to Corbin and beat Corbin very often.
The difference in that game was the 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
That's you can't fumble the ball in that kind of environment.
No, sir.
But yeah, I mean, against Corbin, it came down. They had a chance to win it or tie it or go to the lead at the end. And just play didn't work out, and they would have liked to have that fumble back. I think it was in the fourth quarter at the 12. So woulda, coulda, shoulda. I mean, 2 field goals and they tie that game and we go to overtime, and who knows? But it was a great environment for them to play in.
Yeah.
To have everybody against you and still
Everybody.
and still
Everybody.
come out there feeling like that you missed your chance.
Small,
Just one bad break and it goes the other way.
All right, now just also, LCA is I think far exceeded what we thought going into that with that schedule. 4-1 out of that schedule, I think probably we were thinking maybe 2-2.
I'll be honest with you, but you might agree with him. I thought Boyle County would be the only lump, but I really thought they had a chance to beat Boyle County several times. I guess to at the fourth quarter.
They were inches away from if they get that 4th and inches at the 15, then I think that the game might go a different way. I mean, they both could just score on each other at will, it seemed. Mm-hmm. But the difference this year is, LCA's defense has been maligned a little bit because they got no track meet with Boyle, they got a track meet with Bowling Green. But that was a defensive game against Cal. I was at Cal for that game, and it was tough to get those yards. And it was, Cal showed that, we're the 3A number 1, and you better believe it. You're not just going to come in here and take a win. And I thought LCA controlled that game. LCA did a couple of LCA things, which is, give up a big touchdown. That's kind of the mode that LCA is in. Is like they'll beat you, but they'll also like, well, would you like to get back in the game? Here you go.
We'll give you 40, about 40.
So they give up a 60-80 yard touchdown at the end and give up the onside kick, and then they, the safety saves it back at the end. A tremendous play. But LCA is tough, and I think the defense is a little better this year. Last year, it was a little rough. This year, I think it's a little better. And Brady Hensley is just an absolute game changer for LCA.
Yes.
And it's like that run game is unbelievable, and his burst through the line is something like I haven't seen. It's like
so hard.
He runs hard, and he has a burst at the line. Like when he sees the hole, he can get through it. It's you can feel like sometimes he cuts the air. You can hear it a little bit. And I don't want to oversell. He's going to EKU, but at the 2A level, I mean, he was an all-state, first-team all-state running back at 6A, and now he's at the 2A level. It's kind of ridiculous. So Cutter Bowley is still, he had 3 touchdowns last week, but now they've got that 1-2 punch where good luck stopping them. So they're number 1 in I think the coaches poll, or no, they're number 1 in the media poll, and they're number 2 in the RPI. And that number 2 to Owensboro Catholic, it's because Owensboro Catholic beat Owensboro, I think, and they're undefeated. I mean, if that hangs right there, I think LCA can win out. They can hang in that 2 spot. That's just fine for them. They'll be hosting up and right until the Kroger Field. They can hang on.
I think me and him and Doug talked about it too. I think one time it was big because Cutter threw the ball more than he ever did last year. Now having that running game taken off his shoulder, you almost forget about poor Cutter Bowley being Mr. Football Cat and all that.
He's got targets. He can still sling it a little bit, and nobody's feeling sorry for him. But they're doing just fine, and I think they're one of the favorites to get back to Kroger Field.
Now, in our area, staying on the players thing, is there anybody that, I think, we know the Cutter Bowley and the Brady Hensley are doing great things. Jackson Wasick, probably one of the under-the-radar players.
He threw for 475 against LCA. 475 and like 5 TDs.
I don't think it's on the radar.
Is there anybody else in our area that you think, have been impressed with so far this season?
The time I went to see Bryan Station and what they did, I believe against Bowling Green, Jaws, Washington, Kalen Washington, wow. Wow. Trenton Cutright has proved, like when Trenton Cutright makes the right decisions for Bryan Station is a load. It's a load. It's like, when he gets a little nervous back there sometimes, but when he pulls the ball down and he gets those first downs, It's amazing. Now, he can't do it all the time. He's got to make the right decision there. But he's been making the right decisions the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And they have been, see ya.
We've been rolling.
But you know the thing about this kid is kind of special because he's been in this, pretty much doing this his sophomore year. So, this is his time. So, I think he started off a little rough. People was kind of down, but I've always been a big fan of the kid. I like him. I think he does a great thing.
Yeah, I like him a lot. And it's, especially, it's just a little crazy the first couple of weeks. But, I think that he does a great job of leading that offense.
Mm-hmm. Now, in a couple of weeks, we'll have, I guess, Mega Monster Week, where, just kind of looking ahead a little bit, we'll have those big matchups, district matchups. We've got Bryan Station, Frederick Douglass, we've got Scott County and Woodford County matching up, just to name a few of those games. As we look forward to those, how does that shape up to you as far as getting ready for the playoffs?
Well, the district championships are on the line in those kinds of games. Now, we went through a period where the district championship was settled in the playoffs, like the second week was the district championship game. Now we're back to the web tradition of where it is, and you're a district champion, and you'll get that 1 seed during the regular season. So those games are extremely important. Bryan Station thinks it has something for Douglass this year. They very well might. I think Douglass might still be kind of the favorite there. It just depends. They're working with a new quarterback, Jackson Stroutman, because Cole has had surgery on his elbow, and he's out for probably at least 6 weeks, most likely. So Stroutman's fit in very well and made some good decisions there. And then Scott County, Woodford. How long have we been waiting for that game?
Yeah, man. It's been a couple of years, hasn't it? Like, seriously. It's been a couple of years.
1 year, but then I guess the RPI messed it up.
Flipped it out.
And lost, and
And we're going to find out what's what there. Jim McKee's got a great team.
Yes, we
That is a
do.
great team.
Hey, he's happy. Have you noticed how happy Coach McKee has been this season?
Yeah, I think
he's in a good mood. He's usually, kind of, but this season, he's been happy. Shout out to my coach.
But I think Woodford's had trouble moving the ball at times. Like they can hit you for a big wow play and have been able to stay in games and keeping games right there. But I don't think that the ball control and one good thing is Woodford knows how to play that against that offense because basically Woodford tosses around a little bit more, but it's kind of the same kind of look that you get. So it's going to be a great contest. Where is it? At Woodford Versailles or is it in Scott County? We don't know. That might be the difference. And I think that's a coin flip game, and whoever turns it over the least comes out with it.
Let me ask you this now. I know Will Scott's been Coach McKee I know Coach McKee caught some grief sometimes a little bit about maybe staying with the quarterback. Do you feel like a change is needed? Do you feel like it's just been a tough schedule? You just got to work through the growing process of this. Because like you said, they still are Douglas. As Coach Trucker let me know all the time, they still are Douglas. But, what's your take on that?
I don't think Douglas's problem right now is the quarterback. I think that they have had trouble running the ball against some of the teams they've had. And it's just because they're young. And getting their way. Getting that offensive line settled. I think they've had a couple players out the last couple of games. I think that's part of the struggle there. But I don't think it's the quarterback. I saw the first time I saw Stroutman was against St. X.
Yeah.
He let St. X up.
Yes.
He can make the throws. He can make good decisions. He can run it a little bit. I think they're fine there. It would be nice to have the guy that won the state championship for you behind center as a senior. But that's just an unfortunate circumstance where he got hurt. I think this sophomore stepped up just fine.
So you still think my defender's going to win it, huh? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think he said that at all.
Is that what you said?
Hey, I'm going to put it like, I'm speaking for Coach McKee.
That's what I heard.
We're not picking that game this week. We're not picking that game.
No.
He won your
You don't put me on the spot.
I just said just looking ahead,
just kind of got excited.
I'm not. We got a couple of weeks.
Well, Jared, man, as we get ready to go into this, the final stretch of this season before the playoffs, is there anywhere we can catch you or anything you want to get out there before we get out of here?
Well, I want to shout out to Caroline McCaskis, who is helping me this year. She helps me do the roundups, so she's gone to a couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to take in the Dunbar Tates Creek game on this Friday night. And then I'm going to be down in Mercer County seeing what the Craig East Titans are all about as they take on their first district game with Marion County. So we'll be on Twitter. I'm at HL Preps, and she's at C. McCaskis, which you follow me, you'll find her. But I'm looking very forward to it. I got soccer playoffs starting next week.
All right, Jared Peck, man, thank you for joining us. As always, it's a pleasure. Like I said, find the Herald Preps. You see him on somebody's sideline every Friday night somewhere. He'll be in Mercer County, end up in Timbuktu covering somebody. They're good. I don't know what he's got. He got a jet or something. You got a Lamborghini out there you drive? My guy, Jared Peck. Thank you as always, sir.
Appreciate you.
Hey, great interview with Jared Peck as always, man. Big fan of the show, big supporter, man. Thank you as always. And like I said, you find me HL Preps. As always, there should be a living donor. I'm Coach Mew, my man, Coach Steve on the side, Coach Truck.
Hey.